Hi, and welcome back to Petite Wreath Petite. Today we are making bows. I will show you 4 different ways and we will not need a bow maker. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe and like button. So let's go over the materials for the first method. I think actually the easiest one. So you will need ribbon, a pipe cleaner or a floral wire, sharp scissors, and a hot glue gun. So to start with, I want you to cut one 14-inch piece and two 12-inch pieces. You can have a variation. You can go up and have 16 inches and two 14 inches pieces, or you decide to have two 14 and one 12-inch. That's fine too. It's just we need one longer piece than the other, the 14 and the 12. These will make the bows, and the other 12 one will create the tail. So if you want a longer tail, you can have a longer piece there. And we will need another 3 inches, and this will be the button. So let's go ahead and assemble the body of the bow. To do so, we need the 14-inch piece and put a thin line of hot glue on one end and then glue the other end together so you create a ring. Make sure you're very careful with your fingers when you go gently over the ribbon. And then you repeat this step with the 1 12-inch piece. Same process. You just put a thin line of hot glue on there and then you glue both ends together, overlayering them. While the hot glue is drying, we can cut the ducktail into the tail. For that, I just overlayered both ends and then I cut from the outside to the inside a little triangle. And then I unfold the piece and have 2 ducktails on each side. After that, we are putting everything together. We are using both rings we created, the bigger one on the bottom, the smaller one on top. We are trying to find the middle, and then we gather it, hold it tightly together, and you can see it already forms a little cute bow for us. Then we find the middle of the tail, put it underneath the longer piece, hold it all together, and then you take your pipe cleaner or the floral wire and combine these pieces. Give it a few little twists very tightly so the bow doesn't unravel. So the main part is done now. The bow is already nice, very simple, but it already looks like a great bow. Now we want to cover the middle and create a button. And for this, we are using the 3-inch piece we cut prior. I like to fold in the sides and keep it as it is, as it comes from the spool, just because I like to have these ends on it so it's less fraying. I just glue it to the middle to make it smaller to fit my bow. So a thin line of hot glue on each side. So I basically divide it in two, and then all you have to do is ravel it around the pipe cleaner. You start a dip of hot glue on one side, and then you put that piece you just divided over it, and then you glue it on the other side. And that's really it. And that's how you create a super cute little bow. Very simple, and I promise everyone can do it. This method is also super fast. So I didn't fast forward any of these parts, and it took us like what, 4 minutes now to make this little cute bow. I think what takes the longest is the hot glue to dry. So let's start with our second method. We will need a ribbon what is good on both sides, meaning it's not faded, a pipe cleaner or a flow wire, and sharp scissors. So let's start with the beginning. We have 3 inches we are measuring out. That was my starting point. You fold it once, so you create the first loop, and then you fold it on the other side too, 3 inches each. You meet in the middle, and then you go over the middle and add 1/2 inch on the side. And for the other side, we don't need to break in the middle anymore. We just fold it over on 1/2 inch more and then go on the other side. So we started with 3 inches. The second loop has 3.5 on both sides. And now we are at 4 inches. If you don't have a mat, that's fine too. You can just use your pinky as a measuring point for you. So you know the ribbon, the loops are getting a little bit bigger every time. You want to make sure it's not too much. An inch is a little bit too much. 1/2 inch or even 1/4 inch is a good measurement. So you continuously go from one side to the other. One hand is creating the loops and the other hand is holding the ribbon down. Don't let go. You don't want the ribbon to unravel. So you continue doing these loops. The more loops, the bigger will be the bow. Once you're happy, you are going to find the middle and cut it. You will have an extra inch there. You don't want to cut it too tight because we still need to attach it to the pipe cleaner or the pipe cleaner attached to the bow. Gather it in the middle, pinch it between your fingers, and then put the pipe cleaner over it. Very tightly, give it a few twists in the back. And then we want to create a tail. For this particular bow, I made a 12-inch tail, a 6-inch tail, 12-inch total. So you cut a 12-inch piece. And I didn't want a ducktail on this one. I still folded it in the middle, but I did a triangle from one side to the other. So then you unfold it and you push your thumb up in the middle, and the ribbon automatically will fold, and you put it behind the loops we just created and give it a few twists. All we have left now is open up the loops and just see how beautiful this bow turned out to be. So I have 5 loops on each side. I started it with 3 inches and I went up 1/2 inch until I had 5 inches on each side. And to open it up, you just put your hand or your fingers in the loop and open your fingers, and that's all. And then you just bend and push and do whatever is needed until you're happy how the bow is looking. Method 3. All we need is a pipe cleaner, sharp scissors, and a ribbon, which is faded on one side. And I said it, we don't need a bow maker, and I still stand by this. I just like the spool on it. That's it. Um, I created the bows before without a spool. It's just easier, but you can totally leave that out. So as you can see, this one has a faded side. We start like we did in method 2. We are creating the first loop, finding the middle, and then we do the other side. But our problem here is that we would have a faded side if we continue doing that. So we need to give the middle a little twist to always have the nice ribbon side showing. So you gather the middle for that Just give it a little twist and put it down. Hold it down with your hand, same method as before. One hand is always holding down, the other one is creating the loop. And we are going up 1/2 inch here as well. So as you can see, because of the twist, we changed the pattern, and we are doing this again. Every time we find the middle, we need to give the ribbon a little twist. We are going over to the other side and add 1/2 inch here as well. And then we going over the middle again, and we have to give it a twist again. Gather it with your fingers, give it a twist, and hold it down. Fold it over 1/2 inch, and you continue doing that until you have the feeling that the bow is big enough for you, that you have enough loops. I only made 3 loops on each side. Then I find the middle again and add an inch. Cut off the excessive ribbon, gather in the middle, and use the pipe cleaner to bring it all together. Hold it tightly so it does not ravel. Put the pipe cleaner over and give it a few twists in the back. And here as well, we want to add a tail. So you cut some ribbon off the spool. It depends on how long you want to have your tail. I decided to have a small tail here as well. And I did ducktail this. Once you have this piece cut off, you will attach it to the pipe cleaner on the back and then open up the loops. We are heading towards the last method for today, and also the most complex one of all of these. So we need 2 different ribbon. Well, I should say I chose 2 different one. You can stick with one. And pipe cleaner, zip ties, sharp scissors. So again, I'm only using the bow maker to hold on to my ribbon. First, we are starting with the tail. We are measuring 12 inches, gather it, and then hold it with one hand. Another measurement of 12 inches will create our first loop with 6 inches. You put it together and you hold it tight in one hand. And since this one is faded on one side, we want to make sure that the nice side is always showing. 12 inches again, and there we have another 6-inch loop. And make sure you always hold on tight to the beautiful work you're just doing. Now we're going down to 10 inches. And I know I said before, 1 inch is too much, and I stick with that. I just filled in the other 1/2 inch with the other ribbon, with the other colored ribbon I used. If you stick with me, it will make sense. So here we go. 5-inch loop another time. And then we are going down to 8 inches, what will create a 4-inch loop. You gather, you fold, and you hold. That sounds good. Gather, fold, and hold. So we do that, and then we give it a little twist, and we have another 4-inch loop. We are putting it on the other side, and we holding it, and then we have another tail we need to cut. 12 inches again. Then we are using our zip ties to hold it all together. you just take the zip tie and put it where your thumb is. The thumb, which is holding everything together, and make sure the zip tie is very, very tight on this. Once you're done with that, you can cut off the excessive zip tie. And we have the first part of our bow completed. So let's finish up this bow by making the second part. And for this ribbon, it's showing both sides are good, so we don't have to be so particular in what ribbon side is showing and which one is not, since both are good. And I only made a 10-inch tail on this one, and I filled the gaps of the other loops. So we had 6-inch loops, 5-inch loops, and 4-inch loops. So I made 5.5, 4.5, and 3.5. And what we learned before, we just gather, we fold, and we hold. And that's it. We don't change it up. We just continue doing this until we have all the loops, and we will use the zip tie to tighten all these beautiful loops together and have this little bow. And to put both bows together, we are going to use the pipe cleaner. And the pipe cleaner will also give us an attachment where we can put it on, saying a present, tree, or Christmas decoration, whatever your heart desires. That is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. You can find more crafts and wreath tutorials on my YouTube channel, and you can also purchase wreaths on my website. I will leave the link in the description box below. And again, thank you for watching. I see you next time. Bye.